Hi friends, my name is Maylin and welcome back to my channel. I'm a flutist music teacher and performer located in the city of Toronto, Canada, and this is where we learn how to play the flute from scratch. So thank you again for joining me here today. In this video we'll be learning how to play two different duets and both ways that you can accompany yourself, which would be really cool. So thank you again for joining me here. If you do have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section down below. And of course, if you do need some help with motivation or a way to organize your practice sessions, feel free to check out my free practice guide, also located in the description down below. And as always, let's just get right into it. Okay, so as per usual, we will be going through the Trevor Y Flute Beginner Book number 1, and we'll be reading from page number 22. So there's going to be two duets that we go over today, and in both duets, you're actually able to play both of the parts. So you can play not just the first part, but also the second part, which is really cool. So you'll be able to flip-flop back and forth. So the first piece we're going to be looking at is called the Nightingale. So Mr. Y has a little note at the top, so I'm just going to put it up here, of course, and read it. In the next piece, notice that the phrases are 3 bars long. Most phrases in music are 4 bars long. The phrases are indicated by the brackets. So what Mr. Y is saying here is that phrases in music tend to be 4 bars long. So what I like to think about phrases is phrases are kind of like sentences. So when we speak, there are different ways that we can emphasize different words, or if we want to have it with a little bit more exclamation, then we'll use intonation, and we'll also use our grammar structure to help us with that. So in music, rather than speaking, we'll use the bar structure to help us with that. So usually we have phrases of 4 bars. In this case, this piece, instead of it being 4, they're phrases of 3 bars. So every 3 phrases is essentially one sentence, if you want to think about it like that. Yeah. So let's just take a look at the very beginning. Of course, this piece is also an F major. Again, you can tell by the key signature. And also, if you look at the very end of the piece, usually the piece will end on the tonic. So in this case, it does end on the tonic, so it does end on the F. Also, don't forget to take a look at the tempo marker. So in this case, it is andante, and andante does mean slowly. So you want to make sure you do take it at a nice slow pace. Also, instead of it being in 4/4 this time, it's in 3/4. So just as a reminder, 3 means that there are 3 beats per measure, and 4 means quarter notes. So that means there are 3 quarter notes per measure. Okay, so as per usual, we're going to clap and count. And first we're going to go through that first line. We'll clap and count, I'll play it for you. And then we'll do it with the second line. So clap and count, and then I'll play that one for you as well. And then what you can do is you can also record yourself playing both parts so that you can end up playing the duet with yourself, which is really cool. Okay, so let's just get started with the clapping. All right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, 3. All right, very good. Let's do that a few times if you need to. And don't forget to write in any of the notes if you also need to do that. So here is the listening aspect. One, 2, 3. Okay, so that's the first part, and now we're going to be doing the second part. So we'll take it at the same tempo. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and now I'll be playing it for you as well. 1, 2, 3. All right, so you can definitely tell the difference between the two parts. And what's really cool is that, again, you can play them yourself by recording yourself on your cell phone. So let's say you record the first part for yourself, then you can play the second part as you play the video of the first one. And then you can do the vice versa. So record yourself playing part 2, the pupil 2, and then you can play the first part over yourself, which is really cool. All right, so we're going to do exactly the same thing, but with the B, which is underneath it. So I'm going to put it up right here. So again, we're going to take a look at the key signature. And of course, we're still in F major, so we still have the B flats. Also, we're in 2/4 this time, so that means there's 2 quarter notes per measure. And also, the tempo indication is vivace. And again, if you're not sure, if you don't remember, vivace means very quickly. Also, if we take a look ahead, we do have some repeats, so make sure that we do the repeats just once, unless otherwise specified. So we're going to be learning the first part again, and we're just going to do the clap and count. First, we're going to do it slower, and then we'll play it at the tempo speed afterwards. So 1 and 2, and 1, 2, 1, 2, 1 and 2, and 1, 2. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1, 2, 1 and 1 and 2 and 1, 2. All right, so that way you would actually repeat, but I'm not going to repeat it for this case. So now I'm going to play it, and when I play it, I will be playing it with the repeat. And I'm going to be also playing it at the same tempo as I did earlier. 1, 2. Alright, very good. So now we're going to be doing the same process again, but just with the second part. 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1 and 2 and 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1 and 2 and 1, 2. Okay, so what you can notice, there's a lot of similarities between the first part and the second part. And then if you do see where they are similar, then take note of that. And then also you can see where they're different too. So what I see is that it changes the rhythm when it comes to after the repeats. So what happens in the first part is that the first part gets eighth notes while the second part continues to play quarter notes. So very cool to notice the difference. Okay, so now I'm going to play it, and this time I'll also be playing with the repeat at the same tempo. 1, 2. Alright, so now that we've played it through at a slower tempo, what I'm going to be doing is I'm only going to play the first part, and I'll play that in the faster tempo. So then what you can do, again, of course, is you can try it out by yourself and slowly speed it up. So start at that slower speed that we just played, and then as you start getting comfortable with it, slowly speed it up. And again, this can take a little bit of time. So 1, 2, 1, 2. So that one's a really cute little one. And then also, if you want to take a notice for what I did with dynamics, so what I did was I actually changed what I did with the dynamics the second time around. So see if you can notice what I did, and comment that down below. Alright, and that's going to be it for today. So thank you again for joining me here. As always, if you do have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section down below. Also, if you are having any issues with motivation, or you just need a little bit of a push when it comes to your practicing, feel free to check out my free practice guide, also located in the description down below. Also, I do have a little bit of room left, and I am accepting some newer students when it comes to online lessons. So you can check me out at www.maylinjenkins.com if you're interested. Thank you so much for watching, and happy fluting!